We Got This Africa is an April Communications production with support from Kaiser. Proudly brought to you by Fritol. Fritol, you deserve a life of goodness.
Girl, listen. We got this.
Breast cancer has become one of the most common and the most invasive cancers in women. But for some reason, a lot of us think it's so far away from us, it'll never happen to us. So we don't take breast cancer screening seriously, we don't read enough literature about breast cancer, and even when we are diagnosed, for some reason, we either would not undergo the treatment for fear of the unknown, for fear of the pain that comes with the treatment, the costs that come with it, and so much more. Today, I am eager to learn all that I can from two survivors of breast cancer. I'm so glad you're watching We Got This Africa today. My name is Ashorkor. Stay tuned.
We got this.
When I open Fritol sunflower, nature comes to life. When I cook with Fritol sunflower, family comes to life. Nature's gift to you in every drop, goodness in every bite. Nature's gift to you in every drop, goodness in every bite.
Just give to you in every drawer.
Feels great to have a hearty, healthy family. Fritol sunflower cooking oil. Also cholesterol free for tasty, healthy meals. Love your food, love your life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
We got this.
You're welcome back. This is our breast cancer edition of We Got This Africa. I am pleased to be joined in the studios by two wonderful ladies, Miriam and Gina. Hello, ladies. You're welcome to the show. I think I should have worn pink today. I should have. When I saw you guys coming, I was like, oh no, I'm not dressed for the occasion. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Good.
Okay. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I first of all really appreciate how brave and how bold both of you are for coming on this show to talk about something that I believe is a personal pain. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
When were you first diagnosed of breast cancer?
I was diagnosed in 2018.
Okay. How did you come by the information?
Okay, so my symptom was a painful lump that I noticed when I was in a shower one day, 2017, but I ignored it. And it was until December that year, 2017, that I actually realized the pain was becoming more severe. And I took time to examine the breast before I realized there was a lump in there. So I had pain in there, but I didn't know what was causing it until I examined myself and realized there was a lump. But unfortunately, I was quite naive at that time about the breast cancer. If I said I've not heard anything about breast cancer around that time, I would have been lying. I had heard a lot about it, especially during the Pink October, but then I had never paid attention to the topic, let alone to know the symptom and in fact, I thought it was something that was very far away from me. And so the lump was in there, it was paining me, but then until I realized it was a lump, I didn't know that it was something I needed to take serious. And even after realizing there was a lump there, it took me 3 months before I actually consulted a doctor. And it was the pain that pushed me.
Because it was very painful.
It was very painful. But within that 3 months, I was ignorantly massaging it, praying that whatever it was would just go. But when I realized that the pain was becoming more unbearable and the lump was growing more visibly big, I decided to consult a physician. So I did consult a physician. It was a private clinic around my place of residence. Yeah, and series of ultrasound scans were conducted, and he didn't find anything that was alarming. That was what the information I received. And because I wasn't so comfortable, the lump was so visible, you didn't, at that point, didn't need to feel it or touch the breast to know that there was a lump there, because the breast was getting deformed. Okay, but then he said per the report, there was nothing there, so he suspects an infection. So he gave me an antibiotic to take for 7 days. But he said something, I think that was a turning point for me. He mentioned that I should keep looking at the breast, observing it over time, and then should there be any sign of change in the skin texture, and then signs of discharge, I should look out for those ones. And should I see those things, I should come back. I got home and started to look up at the lump in breast and the skin changes online. That was when breast cancer started popping out, and I was like, whoa. So all this while, I've been joking with my life. So if this is to be breast cancer, it means perhaps by now it has spread over my body. So I got alarmed. I didn't wait to complete the antibiotic course, but I consulted another physician for a second opinion. When I got there, I just told him I suspect I have breast cancer. Please, beyond ultrasound scan, if there is any other thing you can do to confirm that it is or otherwise, so I can be relieved. Then he asked of my age. Then I was 30 years. I said I was 30 years, and he said no. At 30, there's no way I'll have breast cancer. And I was like, really? Because I have started reading around that time, and I realized that somebody around 15 was even diagnosed. I saw something like that online. So I wasn't going to take that and then just relax. I went ahead to consult another doctor, a third opinion. And then he was a gynecologist that has my history, like somebody who I have seen before. And he was quite concerned, but he said, you know what, Gina, I don't do breast. And the way this thing is looking like, I would like you to see somebody who is really into breast. So he recommended somebody, and then I went. And as it were, the system there was like, you needed to see the reproductive healthcare nurses before you are able to see the specialist himself. So they also did the nurses did their examinations, and they said, well, I may have to take the antibiotic again, and then wait for my turn to see the doctor. I pleaded with them, Sarah, because I was getting so much concern. So now I can say that it took almost a year during the time I realized the lump was in there, and then the time I was able to see the specialist, almost like a year. And I met this doctor, and he took everything so serious. He requested a complimentary ultrasound and mammogram at the same time. I did them at the same day, and mammogram didn't pick anything, but the ultrasound did pick something. It was highly suspicious of cancer.
Wow.
And I was scared, really, really scared at that point, because I realized I have wasted so much time, because then I knew that if it were breast cancer and it was caught in time, at least I knew I was going to live. I was reading so much, and I knew that if it is too late, I would have been gone. I would have been gone too soon. So I was really scared at that moment. I brought the report to him, and I needed to do another test, biopsy, to confirm it. So the biopsy was done, and it wasn't cancer.
Okay.
It wasn't cancer. I was happy.
Yeah.
I was excited. And the doctor asked that I come back, I return to him in a week time to have an excision to get the lump removed.
Okay.
3 days after I left him, he called me, Gina, I'm having sleepless night over your case. I'm not comfortable with the report. Per his experience, he's explained that per his experience with cancer, the breast cancer, what he felt, and then what the report is saying, he's not comfortable with it, so I may have to repeat the biopsy before he can let me go. I was too young for him to just treat the case as it was, and reluctantly I went and I repeated the biopsy. But now I prayed. I believed God that it was going to be the same report.
Yeah.
This time, the samples were sent to a different facility. I asked that they mail the report to me because of the distance between us, so I could forward it to the doctor. The report came full of jargons, but then the impression, I Googled it, and it was cancer. This time, I knew it was not wrong. I knew that was it. And I was very angry. You want to know how I react, like how I receive it. I was very, very, very angry. Well, perhaps I might have felt a lot of many things, but what was more was anger. I was very, very angry at myself because I should have known better.
But you went to the hospital.
But then the time I wasted before seeing the doctor.
But even after you had gone to the hospital and gotten a professional opinion, it took so long for them to actually diagnose you correctly.
So I was angry at myself, and then at the diagnostic tools that misdiagnosed me.
Did you find out how you got all these wrong diagnoses, though?
No.
They couldn't explain?
They couldn't explain.
Is that normal?
I can't tell, but I've realized it is not exclusive to me. Others have been equally misdiagnosed. And for those who didn't push further, their stories are different from mine.
So when you finally were diagnosed, what stage were you at?
It was a 2. It was a stage 2. Then it was a stage 2.
Wow.
It was a stage 2. And it might interest you to know that the first biopsy even indicated a ductal carcinoma in situ, meaning it was just at where it started from. There was no sign of invasion or anything. But when when I had a lumpectomy, where it was like a wide local excision, the lump was taken plus part of the breast, like a margin of the breast. When that report came in, it was 2 cancers, the ductal carcinoma in situ and another one called, I've forgotten the name, but it's more, I'm told it's rare. It's rare and it's difficult to diagnose. If the name comes back, I'll let you know. It's more difficult to diagnose, and that one is invasive. So then at that moment, the doctor had already done a lumpectomy. So he referred me to the oncologist at Kolebu for further management. And the waiting period was like 3 months before I could see the oncologist. And within that period, there was a discharge. I started having a discharge from the conserved breast, the same breast that I had a case with. So I continued with the chemotherapy. I had 6 cycles, and they were hopeful that by the time I was done, the discharge should stop, but it didn't. They sat on my case like twice. When the outcomes are not expected like my case, they usually sit on the patient case to dialogue and then come out with other possible or alternative. But my case, it was concluded that I may have to continue with the radiation. And then I was referred back to the surgeons at Kolebu to do further evaluation of my case. So it was there that they asked that I did a cytology of the discharge and then a CT scan of the breast. That was when it was confirmed that there was still sign of cancer in the breast.
There was still cancer, even after they're taking out the lump and all of that. Wow.
So for me, that was the breaking point for me. I can say confidently that, when I realized it was cancer, I was angry and all that, but then I met the surgeon then, and then he informed me of my prognosis, like my chances of survival and all that, and that gave me hope that it wasn't too spread, like it hadn't spread so much, and I had a chance to survive if I'm able to take advantage of all the support that were available for me. But to have gone through the chemo, and then there's still cancer in there, and then it was recommended that I have to have the whole breast removed. It was devastating for me. Now, it was very, very, very devastating for me. But at that time, it was like I thought I was losing my life. I thought I was not going to make it because I know the breast cancer story, my experience and the experience of others. It's like if you try to like get it with something, like you want to cure with something, it doesn't work, especially for those who try the herbal, it gets more aggressive. Okay, it gets more aggressive. So in my case, I was so scared that after chemo and it is still there, it means it's going to get angry and spread to all over my body. And I don't know where it was at that moment. So they couldn't tell.
Wow, that's very devastating. Wow. Miriam, what's your story? When were you first diagnosed?
Last year, 2020, but 2 years before I was being diagnosed, I met a doctor in police hospital. I was having these symptoms of malaria, so after the treatment, I asked him, I have another problem. I want to talk to him about it. I didn't even know he was a surgeon in police hospital. So I spoke to him about it, checked the breast, and said it's like I have to do some biopsy and all those things. And I said I didn't even know what is biopsy. And that time, that was 2 years ago, that was 2019. Yeah, I went to sit in the house applying herbal medicine. When they say this herbal medicine is good, I will just go to that place. If it's even in Togo, I'll even go there.
Did you go to Togo?
No, I didn't go.
Okay.
I'll just go to any place they mention. So for me to get the herbal medicine.
Wait, so you had malaria?
Yes.
You went to the hospital?
Yes.
After malaria, you had symptoms of what?
This lump in my breast.
You could feel a lump in your
Yes.
breast? And then you went back to your doctor?
Yes, to
Okay.
show it to him, to know what is wrong with me. And he said it's like something, he just had to do some biopsy.
That's what he said?
Yes.
And then you went to herbal doctors?
Yes, because I didn't even know what was going on. They said this herbal medicine will cure it. So I'll just go to places, buy the medicine, apply it on the skin, on the breast, but it was changing the color of the breast to become big and so back again inside.
Your breast was changing in size?
Changing in size.
color?
In color to and in size
Color
too.
like how?
Like my normal color is this,
Okay.
but it will become dark.
Okay.
To change it in color and it will wear off and come back again with the normal skin. Still taking the herbal medicines, but what got me scared was a lady who went with me to take the herbal medicine was having the same problem with breast cancer. Her own was like rotten.
Her breast was rotten?
Yes, but she told me that the medicine is working for her. But in 2 weeks' time, my auntie came to tell me the woman is dead. So I got scared that I'll die also. So I just have to go back to police hospital again and start again. It was 2 years, so when I got to the hospital, the doctor saw me, said, I know you from somewhere. I know you. Remove your nose mask and let me see. Said, I know you. You wait. Everyone will have to go. You just have to wait for me and let me talk to you. What happened? Why didn't you come when I told you to go and do the biopsy and all?
So what period, how long were you gone for before coming back?
2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
You were going from herbal hospital to herbal hospital for
yes,
2 years?
2 years.
And you couldn't tell at the time that it wasn't working?
It wasn't working, but they will tell you this, I'm not applying it well. If they give you 6 to apply it, you have to apply it at 6. And maybe that 6 to, maybe I'll be sleeping.
So you applied at 6:30?
Yes.
And that's why it wasn't working?
They said that it is because of that.
I see.
And some people were even telling me it's like something spiritual.
So were you going to pastors and spiritual healers?
I didn't even believe them.
Okay.
Because the last place I went, before I learned that the woman was dead, he called me to tell me the medicine is spoiled, but some spiritual something has happened in the house.
Whose house?
My house. So I have to go from leave the house before the medicine will work.
So you have to relocate to another house?
Yes, and I said I don't have any place to go, so I just have to stay there. And he said he can't give me the medicine again, but they are attacking him. I don't even know what is going on, so I said, okay, let me find solutions to all those, what is going on in my body. I didn't have money to go to the hospital next, and I just went to see my auntie, who's a friend to the lady that was dead. I went to tell her, oh, your friend that is this, she's now dead because of breast cancer. And I asked my auntie, haven't you been seeing that one of my breasts is bigger than? She said, oh, she thought it's normal. Because at times I always wear something she meets always in the house. So she said she thought it was normal. I said, no, it wasn't normal. But I'm having some lump in the breast and it's changing its color. And so I wanted to show it to her. She said, no, she doesn't want to see. But she has heard my story. So why didn't I go to the hospital? I said, oh, this herbal, they said, and she said, no, she's going to call my uncles, my other cousins to start giving me money to go back to police hospital to start the treatment now. I went to police hospital. They did the biopsy. The first biopsy came back. They said there was nothing inside the breast, but I'm okay.
Okay.
But my doctor too was saying no. The
But
breast
it's just like your situation. They couldn't determine the first time.
Yes, the breast was changing now. It's even becoming bigger than the other one. So he did another biopsy again, took it to another lab, a private lab. Before it came back, it was cancer. He called me and said it was cancer, but he can't give me the chemo at police. I have to be transferred to Kolebu.
How did you feel when you were told that it was cancer?
I came home crying. I thought I was even dead. I even came to tell my mom. My mom said there's nothing in the family like that. I should stop saying that.
How old were you?
I was 28. She said I should stop saying that. I tell my dad, no one was believing me, but I could see my dad was believing me because I made him touch the breast because I was feeling so much pain. He said he wanted to pray for me. So when he touched, he said, your breast is hard. It's very hard than the other one. Then I think there's something wrong with you, but I don't have money. Since you said people are helping you now, we'll just help you in prayers. But my mom wasn't believing, my other brothers wasn't believing. They said there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just pretending I'm sick. And I was asking them, I was growing lean. And my color too was changing. I was becoming dark. My mom said it's normal, I'll come back again. I just have to let it go, find my own ways to Kolebu and go and ask them what I have to, the medicine, because I don't know what they are talking about. I went, they said I have to take chemo for 8 times.
Were you afraid?
I was afraid, but I was with my guy. He too, at the end, he broke up with me, so.
Because of the cancer?
I don't know. He thought maybe I'll die.
Well, you didn't die.
I didn't die too.
Did he ever tell you anything, or he just ended it?
He said he's tired.
I'm sorry. Wow. So you went to Kolebu and you started chemo?
We started the chemo. So when you take the first chemo, they will for cycle, they will tell you to go and see the doctor. I went to see the doctor. After that, they said I have to take another 4.
You know, this thing with chemotherapy is one of the scariest things about cancer I hear about when people talk about cancer and the treatment. And it's one of the reasons that I know people would just not want to know that they have cancer. When we come back, we'll talk more about this. You're watching We Got This Africa. Please stay tuned.
We got this.
When I open fried toast and flour, nature comes to life. When I cook
every drop.
Feels great to have a hearty, healthy family. Frytol sunflower cooking oil. Also cholesterol free for tasty, healthy meals. Love your food, love your life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Kaiser Intelligence System is that magical experience in our lapel range. And it's got a TFT touch control system in this extractor, an induction hot plate with a tempered glass surface powered by the world premium Shot Siran. Shock resistant, and it comes with its grill plates. Every space of this induction hob can cook, and we call it the Free-Zo. Just touch to control the extractor fan speed. The power slide on the induction hob gives you the freedom to regulate its power to your desire. Magically powerful in extracting heat, smoke, and harmful odors without being a noisy nuisance in your cooking space. And because we care, the induction hob has a safety guard and child lock function. Now, look at that food. Kaiser knows how to bring the best in every cook. Kaiser, power in action.
We got this.
You're welcome back. We're talking about breast cancer today on the show. I've got two amazing survivors here to share their stories. Gina, tell me about when chemotherapy started for you.
Okay, so I had my chemo after my lumpectomy. Okay.
After the first lump was removed?
Yeah, after the first lump was removed.
Did you have another surgery for the second lump?
Yes.
So you had two lumpectomies?
No, the second was a mastectomy where the whole breast was taken off.
So they removed the whole breast?
Yes, please.
How did you take that?
It's not easy, but I think I felt it was okay to lose my breast than my life. So I weighed it, and then I think I even asked them to take both, because the way things were happening, the misdiagnosis and all that was happening. So I even suggested they take both breasts after I was able to come out from the shock stage. But then they said they don't just remove breasts like that unless there was a need to.
That's really bold.
Yeah.
Tell me about when you say the shock stage, what's that?
That was when, after chemo, I was told that there was still sign of cancer in the conserved breast after the cytology and the CT scan was conducted. Because when I was done with chemo, I was supposed to just go ahead and have my radiation, the radiotherapy, and that should be it. I would have been done with my treatment. So the mastectomy was not part of my initial treatment plans. So it wasn't something I was prepared for. So to just have it thrown at me, and it was supposed to be immediately.
They told you they had to remove the whole breast, and you're supposed to do it
immediately. Yeah.
You didn't have the chance to discuss it with anybody?
Oh, not then and then, but then I didn't have to wait for too long because I was already done with chemo, and I'm sure they were trying to do everything they can within their means. I mean, the doctors to just don't let it get invade from the breast to my body. So, and even that immediately, the time I was given was like 6 weeks because there were other people ahead of me.
Who did you talk to?
My case was such that before the breast cancer, I had other life-threatening health condition. I had other health conditions that threatened my life. So I had like 6 surgeries, emergency surgeries before the cancer diagnosis. So my family was already down when it comes to my life, okay? And then to tell them that I had cancer, it was going to be devastating. So it was just within my home. My mom especially wasn't aware. She knew I was going to Kolebu for something. She knew I had a lumpectomy, but then she didn't know it was cancer. And my pastor was not aware until I had to have the mastectomy. So it was at that moment that I even informed my mom because I needed prayers. I felt I needed prayers around that time.
Were you married?
Yeah, I was married with 4 kids. How did your
husband take it?
For him, his concern was if the mastectomy would be the end of it all, then I should go for it.
He was supportive?
He was supportive. He was very, very supportive. And somehow he felt the first doctor didn't do his work well, but I am convinced that doctor was my angel because he went all I mean, he did everything he could to get me back to even have that second biopsy done before that diagnosis was made. So I didn't blame him. I knew what was best for me around that time was what he did for me, okay? Because they don't just do lumpectomy. They consider a lot of factors. So sometimes the patient comes and said, oh, you said the lump is very small. Why won't you just take the lump out? They don't just take lumps out. They consider factors, the kind of cancer, its nature, the stage and all that, the place, the position of the lump itself, the size of the individual's breast. A lot of things come into consideration. Okay, and I felt at that moment that was what was best was what the doctor did. So yes, I told my mom, my dad was already sick at that time, and my husband, and then my pastor was now told, and they all joined force to pray with me, to support me. But
so you
then,
did the mastectomy within the period that you were supposed to do it?
Yes, within that period.
So, you have just one breast now?
Yes, I have just one breast.
How do you feel about that?
I think now I'm okay, because I have witnessed people who refuse to have the breast removed dead. I've seen them dying. Some were my friends, people I started the journey with. They are dead now. So I think I tap myself on the shoulder that I don't see it and get demoralized anymore. I see my scars and I'm proud of myself. I see them as scars from a battle, and I think it's worth it. It's worth. I'm alive now. My kids are not motherless. My husband is not a widower. My mom still has me, and I think it's been worth it. It's been worth it.
Well done.
Thank you.
Not many are able to take this decision.
Yeah, it's true.
So after the mastectomy, you started chemotherapy again?
No. Fortunately, the reports indicated that it was not a new cancer, but residue of the previous one. So I went ahead and had my radiation. And then after the radiation, homotherapy. That one is a daily pill we take for 5 years. Yeah, so that's what I'm taking. Yeah, I'm still taking it.
Does it have any side effects?
It does, but it has everyone and their unique experiences.
How does it affect you?
You remember I was going to mention the second cancer and I forgot. Forgetfulness. Extreme forgetfulness. There was a time I even forgot some simple pattern I used to lock my phone. I forgot, so I had to. The phone got locked because several trials and I had to have the whole phone flashed. Forgetfulness, and then my menstrual cycle is now something else. The menses comes when it likes, and I think beside that, a few pain here and there, but we weigh these pains against the benefit we are getting because it is meant to reduce the risk of reoccurrence.
Has it changed your life in any way?
It has. It has, because my life was on pause. The very day I knew I had cancer, all my plans and ambitions were thrown aside, and then you look forward to resuming normal life after treatment, okay? And treatment ends and you realize that it's a new normal life. You don't get back to your old self again because you are not yourself again. You wake up at times and there's this mood swing. That's one of the side effects from the drug I have. And even with chemo, it's long-term effect. You have this mood swing and you wake up and you just feel hopeless. Sometimes you're just angry, easily agitated. And there's also, after treatment, I'm out of active treatment almost 2 years now. But there's also this fear of reoccurrence, okay? And you know that when it comes back, usually to not be in the breast again, it might go into the organs. Could be the kidney, the lung, the liver, your head, your bones. We know it because we see others going through it. And for some of us who are frequent at the hospital, like me, I volunteer at Kolebu to inspire others. So I see the cases, the recurring cases, and it's not easy when you are so much aware of what could be. And you are there and you're having this pain in your arm that is not going easily and you are so scared. Could it be the cancer coming back? Or you have this normal cough. Now, it's not just the fear of COVID in our case, but could it be the cancer, And it's also a phase. For those who are long-term survivors, they tell you that it will go. The fear reduces as time goes by. So, and then you are so conscious about what you take, especially for those of us who are hormonal positive. Even foods that you take in, you are so conscious, you are so afraid.
So you don't eat everything?
Well, you don't know what caused the initial cancer in the first place. And then you don't know if the foods you like to take contain the whatever it is.
So you're in constant fear.
Constant fear. So for the physicians will tell you, take everything, but not like it should be in moderation.
Okay.
So sugar, some people will tell you shouldn't take sugar at all. That one should be personalized. For me, I decided not to take it. But we advise that if you cannot stop at all, it should be taken in moderation. Alcohol is a no. And more veggies. So basically, we need to change our lifestyles to pursue healthy lifestyle. We exercise, keep active life, eat well, and pray. And remain hopeful, and I think the positive mindset.
That's important in all circumstances. Miriam, tell me about your treatment. When you finally started doing it.
The treatment. Okay, I would say for the first time I went for the chemotherapy, the nurses called me like I was having my braids, I was having this cornrow on my head, and they said I have to go and cut my hair before my hair starts falling. All the
chemotherapy makes your hair fall out?
Yes. I lost all my hair.
Is that why you have short hair?
Yes, please. Not only the hair, the eyelash, the brow, and everything.
Your eyebrows?
Yes. So they told me, and I came home. My mom was in the house, and I was telling my mom, I have to go and cut my hair. I was having this natural long hair too. She said, no, I can't cut. I said, oh, let my brother cut it for me. If it's something short, they said no. I want to kill myself, so I've taken, they said what? Poison. I've taken poison to kill myself.
Why would they say that?
Because of the medicine. It's making me become dark too. So I've taken poison to kill myself. Because I was having this sickness, vomiting, diarrhea. Every day you'll be vomiting.
Really?
Yes. You wake up every day, you have to vomit. Even if you take in tea, common tea, you will vomit.
So what do you eat?
I just manage. But they give you the medicine that will like make
suppress the nausea.
The nausea. Loss of taste too. You are not going to taste anything. Even if you drink water, if it's hot, you will not even taste it is hot or cold. You just take it. You are just doing it so that you will be well. You have to eat well too, because of the medicine. I quite remember I took my chemo in the car coming. I was feeling very hungry. Just have to buy anything to eat.
When you go for chemo, what exactly happens?
Me, I just like vomiting. So,
like, what's the process?
Yeah, they will give you. It's like in injection. Infusion, they will put it in your skin, like they will infuse it. It's three infusions, but it will depend on your weight and everything too. Because I asked them about it, everything you have to know before they put it in your body too. So I asked them, mine is 3 every time. But
so it's like IV fluid?
Yes.
Like a drip?
Yes, it's like a drip. But they will later come and inject something in it. Something red, when you urinate, you'll be urinating red. The injection they put in it, that is the chemo medicine itself.
And when you take it, is it painful?
Okay, the last 4 was painful.
What kind of pain was it? Where do you feel the pain?
In your body, like in your veins. Near in Shamwe, a Shamu can show enemy can both body me.
Well, if
show no on in me than a babuti body.
And can you take a painkiller for that?
Yeah, no, we are not going to take it. But if you are feeling pains inside your body, they will come, the doctors come around and ask questions. Are you feeling pains? Do you have any problem? So you just tell them, because of the nose they always have to write it for you to go and buy it.
You had to do this for how long?
I took the chemo for 8 times. After that, I sat home. They said my surgery will be in March. Sat home, they called me again that I have to come back for an extra 2 of the chemo.
Why?
Because when they checked everything, the thing was still attached to my chest wall. The lamp was still attached to it, and it wasn't decreasing, it wasn't vanishing, it was still attached to my chest wall. So I went back again. And before you go back for the extra 2 of the chemo, you have to do echo. Check your heart rate, whether your heart is okay. They checked it, they said it's okay, I have to come back for the 2. I took the extra 2 before they did the surgery.
What kind of surgery did you do?
Remove all the breast.
You did a mastectomy?
Yes.
How old were you?
This year, so 29.
How did you feel about that?
I always tell myself, in the Bible says, so,
okay, well that's one way to look at it. And was your surgery supposed to be immediate, or you had time to go home, think about it, talk to your family?
No, my own, like, after the chemo, it was like, I got there for review, and they said my date was 8, but that day was 7th, and the 8th, I was supposed to do the surgery.
The next day.
And I told them, no one knows I'm in the hospital, so I'm going home. They said, oh, I said, I have no one. They said, how? I said, I don't have anyone. Just believe me. They said, okay, I should be there, maybe pay for the medicine for the surgery. And I said, even if you let me stay, I don't even have money. Let me go home. They were even willing to do the surgery for me, even if I buy the medicines for them. I said, no, I just want to go home because I wasn't ready.
Mentally?
Yes. I got home, told some friends and family, and I told them they should leave me to die because I'm tired.
Did you mean that?
Yes.
You wanted to die?
I wanted to die.
You wanted to die? Why?
I felt no one was helping me. I felt I had no one. So I just want to die. But a friend of mine was telling me, even if you started, God has made you start. You've done the chemo. No one takes 10 chemo and still be strong and still work. You just have to have faith and do it. And I asked her, where am I going to get the money? She was telling me, with the same faith that I used to pay the chemo, someone will help. I sat home and I just have to call the doctor to ask of the date again. And they said I have to come back for a review again the following week. I went for the following week before they told me they can't put me in that week too because there are a lot of people. And my next, if they want to do the surgery, it will be in 3 months' time. And since my chemo was 10, it's so severe, like it will make me die even if I don't do the surgery too. So I just have to be willing to do it. Am I ready? I said, I'm ready now. That's why I came. So they did it. They said, okay, they have only 2 weeks. They just have to adjust me into some people's own so that they remove someone's name and put me there for me to do the surgery. And they were asking me if even someone supported for the surgery, will I do it? I said, yes, I want to do it
How
now.
much was it?
They said if I have 2,500. With insurance. By length, even with the insurance, it's 4,500. The insurance is covering 2,000 for you. So it's 2,500. I got home, told the friends that wanted to help, and they said they can't even help. But they can only give me like 500 or 1,000. I said, okay, no problem. 500 or 1,000 will make it, can even buy the medicine. Yeah,
the cost.
I was having only 1,000 cedis the day before my surgery, and I didn't even know I was supposed to report on Monday before I have to come there Wednesday. I called Auntie Gina, and she was saying, I'm not inside the names they are saying I have to do the surgery, but I should come. Even since I'm willing to do it now, maybe she can talk to some of the doctors and all those things. And I said, I went that Wednesday with my bag. I just took my backpack, packed everything. I didn't even tell my mom I was going somewhere. Went to Kolebu. They keep searching my name on the computer. My name wasn't there, wasn't appearing. And I was willing to do the surgery now. So they asked whether, like, do I have the money? I said, I don't have all, but I have the money for the medicine for the surgery and the things they need to. They said, okay, I should go and pay, but they were forced to book me inside. So Wednesday evening around 9, my name was still not appearing in their system. But they said I should still wait. Since I said I was willing to do it, so I still waited. Waited before they told me my name was appearing now. They can do it for me on the next day. I was so glad.
Yeah. So you didn't tell mom or dad or your brothers or anything?
Okay, I was there. One of the nurses called me to tell me, like, I have to tell someone who is related to me. And I said, okay, my dad is so, I like to talk to my dad a lot about my situation. So I just phoned my dad, gave his number to him. If I'm not there, they should call my dad. Before I realized my old man was there, he came. They were asking me, he said, okay, if they asked him some questions. I said, they are not going to ask you any question. The forms, I filled it myself. Signature, I did everything myself. It's just your phone number that is there. So that if I am not back from the surgery, they can call you for my things. That's why I even called you. I don't even want you to come, Kra.
You didn't think the surgery would be successful?
One thing about me, I know everything. I always give thanks to God for everything. I don't even care anything that happens. I was just willing to do it, to be free. Because the pains were still inside my body. My father too was telling me in the surgery day, that day, he waited till I came back to the world around 11. Because I was the last person they did the surgery. He said he waited. They were not bringing me back before he would go. And he learned, like, they came to tell some relative of some other patient that the person is dead. So he too was so worried. Started to call pastors, call his friends, call my uncles that are pastors and all to pray for me. And I said, me that I wasn't even worried about the surgery, you are worried about me.
Were you really not worried, or you had given up?
I wasn't worried now. Because I know everything is okay. I was just so sure to myself that everything was okay. I just want to make myself happy. Because no one was going to make me happy.
Did this have to do with the boyfriend leaving you?
No. Something like family issues also. No one was taking care of me and all those things.
You weren't getting support from your family? Has it always been like that with your family, or it was just this particular situation?
It's always like that.
Is it just you or everyone in your family?
Everyone. But I could see, like, my own was so... No one was having the same thing that was happening to me. Just have to help, because I was the youngest in the family, the youngest. I'm the last born of my parents. So if even you can borrow money to help me, borrow money to help me. Because I am working. When I come back, I can come and pay you back. But they were not willing to help.
Why? It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. They always tell me that I am lying. There's nothing wrong with me. That's what they say. Because they see me after my chemotherapy, I'll come back and work too.
What work were you doing?
I'm sewing. I'm a fashion designer. So they see me working every time. So they don't see that there's something wrong with me. And I always say to myself, if I don't work, who is going to pay the money? even if the person is supporting you, you have to support yourself for the transportation or for the food too. So I'm just working so that I can support myself too in that. I can't be asking the person, okay, give me money for food, give me money for this. I can't do that.
When you woke up from the surgery, what was the first thing that came to mind?
Okay, they were still taking the temperature and taking, like, the drip was still on you, the oxygen was still on you. So the only thing I woke up, where they mentioned my name, Miriam. I heard it from my father, Miriam. I said, who is calling me? I'm sleeping, who is calling me? So I said, the only thing I woke up and did like this. And then I said, Miriam, answer me. Yes. I said, yes. He said, are you okay? And I did like this again. He said, talk. I just do like this. He said,
you couldn't talk?
I just want to know whether I was alive. So I was just doing like this. She said, I just want you to talk so that you'll be okay. So I said, yes. Are you okay? And I said, yes. Because the last thing I remembered was they showed me my forms and they asked me whether I signed it. And I said, yes, I signed it. And they mentioned my name, Miriam. And they said, they'll put you to sleep for some hours. And I said, okay. Before I realized I was waking up. So the nurse was asking, when I woke up, I was asking, I'm hungry. They said, no, we don't eat here. I said, but I'm hungry. I just want to eat. It's been like 24 hours I have not eaten. So I was so hungry. Said, we don't eat here when you go to your ward. And I said, okay. What time will I go to my ward? They said, I'm still taking your temperature and everything. Just lie down. I said, but I'm hungry.
Well, then you knew at that time that it was over and you were alive and it was time to move on.
But I was also asking myself, what am I even doing there? I didn't even remember what I was there for. So the only thing I just asked, and something told me, like, check your breast. I checked I said, oh, okay, I came to do surgery. Oh, my problem is gone. That's the only thing I told myself. My problem is gone. Before they took me to my ward.
I like the sound of that. My problem is gone. So that's how you got out of it?
Yeah.
Did you feel better after that?
Yes.
Was your problem really gone?
It was gone, but in 3 days' time, they came for ward rounds. The doctors came before they told me my own was something like attached to the chest wall. They managed to remove the bigger portion, but some is still inside the body. They can't remove it, so but I have to go to the radiotherapy side. And I said, I don't even know what they are talking about. But he wrote the forms for me. I have to go there. If I can't go there, I have to send my dad to that place to book for me. I said, okay.
So did you do radiotherapy?
I'm still doing it.
What is radiotherapy?
It's like a radiation. They'll put you inside, like, you'll be on the bed and the rays will come, like, I don't know, you will not see the rays, but it's something like, it's a radiation something. As where the cancer is detected.
Is it painful?
It's not painful. It's like for 20 minutes.
And it's over?
Yes.
How long do you have to do that for?
I'm doing it for 25 times.
And after 25 times it will be gone?
I don't know. But I think when you are done, you have to go for a review. Maybe you do some scans and labs for them before they will tell you are done or so. But I don't know. I'm just doing it.
Did you do radiotherapy?
Yes, please.
For how long?
I did 16 fractions. That is 16 times every day.
16 times? So for 16 days?
Yes, please.
And that took care of everything?
Yes, please. Hopefully.
Okay. But you haven't had any problems since?
No, I haven't.
Well, thank God. I really hope that you can say this also by the time you're done. Yeah. Amen.
Amen.
It's our prayer. Thank you so much for coming and for sharing. Before we go, I'd like you to advise our sisters out there who have been diagnosed of cancer and are seeking alternative medicine, which is very common in Ghana, or are afraid of a mastectomy, having to remove a whole breast. And like you said, some women have chosen to just keep the breast and die. How would you advise?
You know, it's not easy. Personally, I know As women, our breast is one of our most cherished part of our bodies, and to have it removed is not easy, especially for those who are yet to marry or give birth. It's more difficult for them than for those of us who already have 1 or 2 kids and are already married. That notwithstanding, I think it's a matter of choosing between your breast and your life. And if you have to take the breast, as difficult, you have to take off the breast, as difficult as it may be, I will suggest that they should let the breast go off for them to live. It's not easy. And alternative medications, I'm yet to meet or interact with someone who had taken maybe these herbal concoctions and really got cured of the breast cancer. But I can confidently count numerous numbers of survivors who chose, though difficult conventional path, and are doing well, like I am and Miriam is.
Thank you. Miriam, how would you advise women out there who use such alternative medicine?
Okay, I would say they should, anything like when you go to the doctor and they ask you, like they are going to remove the breast, just be willing to do it, because your life is more important than your breast. Taking one away for you to live is more important than you dying or you rotting to death. That's the only advice I have to them.
I really appreciate the two of you for coming and for sharing. God bless you. And sharing today, I'm very certain, has helped a lot of women in Ghana and beyond. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Every year in the month of October, we observe Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Even if you never, ever, ever screen your breast, do self-examinations and so on, in the month of October, take advantage of Breast Cancer Awareness Month and get screened. Early detection can save your life. My name is Ashorkor, and this has been We Got This Africa, the Breast Cancer Survivors Edition.
I deserve a life of goodness. You deserve a life of goodness. We all deserve a life of goodness. I'm Gina, a breast cancer survivor. I can say confidently that breast cancer is survivable. I suggest to all women out there not to be afraid of breast cancer diagnosis. Should you be diagnosed, take advantage of all the opportunities available. Even if you have to take or lose your breast, please lose it and save your life. Early detection is the only protection we have now, because there is no known cause for breast cancer. I would advise that you get your breast screened this October and after October, so that you can know that you are safe at all point in time. Everyone deserves a life of goodness.
We got this.
We Got This Africa is an April Communications production with support from Kaiser. Proudly brought to you by Frytol. Frytol, you deserve a life of goodness.